Hey everybody, it's Aquila, and this is the Lefty podcast, episode 154, coming to you from Baltimore, Maryland. This is a podcast about knitting, crocheting, and any other crafts that I'm kind of getting into, with some fails. Definitely always some fails. Did I say it's 154? Yeah, I think I did. Recording late. It's Thursday already. It's been a crazy week. Last week was a crazy week. Then I had surgery. Seems to be fine. My biopsy results came back that everything was just the normal low grade CN1 and all my margins were clear. So that was good. So now I just have to wait for all my regular appointments, my yearlies, and see how that goes. Fun times. I hope it's good. I hope this fixed some issues. But we'll see. Not that you guys needed to know all that, I guess. But for the curious people who have come back and watch and ask and are concerned, thank you. And to any new viewers, yeah, I had a LEEP procedure. LEEP. There you go. So Thursday, it is March the 3rd. It is my friend Amanda's birthday. Happy birthday! I don't think she watches. She used to watch. Sometimes she would watch the vlogs. I think she watched more to see Hayes, which is fine by me. We're going to see Elle King tonight, and she's actually watching her for us on her birthday, which I feel like the biggest jerk. I didn't even realize. I'm terrible with birthdays, first off. If I haven't known your birthday for a very long time, I'm not remembering your birthday. Totally didn't even cross. She's like, I'm not doing anything on a Thursday night. I can watch her. And I was like, this is the first time I've ever really asked somebody to really, really watch my child. And I asked her to watch her on her birthday. Oh, I'm a terrible person. All right, so let's talk about some works in progress. We'll start with the knitting because the other thing is a fail. It's a fail. I'm not going to give up though. I am not giving up. Let's talk about the first thing first. So I started the woven hat and I can't remember the designer's name, but all the links are always down below. I think it's Ann Miller, maybe. So I picked these two colors. This is Plucky and this is Marigold Jen. And the hat is kind of like a buffalo plaid look to it. And yeah, I am gotten past the first repeat of the chart, which I would consider those the squares. So now I was doing regular stranded work here, and you can see even from this far away, you can see my floats where I caught them, and I'm going to keep it as it is for this section because I don't think I'm going to go back at this point. But can you see where I caught my floats? Try not to cover my face. Boop, boop, boop. Every other row, boop, boop. Because I was picking, it was like 15 of the same color every other row. So I was doing every 5th stitch I did catch my float. And on the other rows, I was doing a catch between 6 and 7 because it's 13 stitches wide. But you can see them. And I was like, okay, I know there's a name for this type of knitting, and I couldn't think of it. And I'm Googling, and I'm like, other stranded catch floats, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it wasn't and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. And it was like the next day. I was really tired the first day I was Googling it. So I did it the next day, and it's called Jacquard Laddering or Laddering Jacquard. Now I can't remember which one goes first. So blah, 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 boop. That's right. I decided to start doing that on the second repeat. So what that does is it creates kind of like double knitting. If you've ever done double knitting, which I've done double knitting, it creates like a second fabric behind the fabric. So instead of catching the float where you usually twist your thing or you catch it with the needle, you catch that other strand, this, you create an actual extra stitch in your knitting. And I'm going to show you real quick. So this block here is the checkered. Then it goes into, it's all going to be the melon color. But can you see those two stitches right there? Those are my Jacquard ladders or whatever it is. And it's going to be hard to tell anything from just now what it looks like, but it's going to create a whole second fabric behind here. It's crazy. So what you're doing when you're knitting, so like I knit this way, my stitches are going around here. So I would knit the 4. I would bring my main color that I'm knitting with, which is the melon. I'm going to call it melon. I'm going to bring that to the front. I'm going to knit the 1 green stitch, bring my main color back to the back, knit 5, and do that again. Bring the melon to the front, knit this stitch with the green, bring the melon back to the back, and then knit my 4. And then I would just do my every other stitch here like I would normally do. There's videos, now that you know the name of the knitting, I'm going to put it here. There's videos. I was looking for one from Very Pink Knits and I couldn't find one, but there were others. And I don't remember the one I exactly watched. If I can find which one I watched that was very good, although she was doing it on a mitten and it got a little confusing because she was like, well, just ignore those stitches. And I'm like, okay. I'll link that down below. I also try to have a playlist of, I call it helpful craft tutorials, and I have a playlist on YouTube of all the helpful craft tutorials. Like the jelly roll video is on there for the jelly roll quilt. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm not ripping back, but you can see where I caught all the floats. This is a green block, see? And you can see where I was catching my floats. And it doesn't create a second fabric. It's actually attached. So I'm excited to try this because I've never tried it. I had people tell me about it in other videos when I've done color work knitting. So I am excited to show you guys my progress on that once I get I wanted to get a little further doing it and I just didn't. So, all right, let's talk about my fail. Remember I purchased this. I purchased a bead weaving pattern. Now the bead weaving pattern didn't come with instructions. It was strictly a chart. I watched lots of bead weaving videos. I could not figure out one, and the picture's still here. It's 4 beads on top of one another, 2 rows of 4, and then it's 2 rows of 5, and then it's 2 rows of 6. Well, I finally found a video that showed me exactly how to do that. And I need to put that in my favorites video before I forget and watch too many other videos because I got to dig it out from my history. So the first attempt I did was before I found that video. And I don't like the colors I was using. So let me show you this. And I'm going to do a lay down video of these. And I'm going to show you like some like the beads and all too. But I want to show you. You can't even see. You can barely see the gray. Okay, it's not terrible, right? It's not terrible, but it's not right. It's not correctly done. So I got to where the fringe started and I was like, this is, the colors I didn't like together. I'm going to end up ripping this out. Now, second of all, I showed you that bucket of beads, right? I showed you this bucket. It has all these panels with beads. The beads are not uniformly sized. I had a good conversation with a follower. We were messaging back and forth, and she was showing me projects of her beading projects, and I was like, man, now I can still use these beads, but to make these earrings, they need to be uniform. They need to be uniform beads. And in all honesty, like John made the comment, cheap people pay twice. And I understand that is like a true kind of comment. Now, I wasn't being like cheap. I thought these beads were fine. They're not fine for making them line up in uniform rows. It's not gonna give me the look that I want. Now, I did start the project again using the correct video, using the same beads I had, thinking, okay, well, maybe it won't look so bad if at least the color is better. So I got pretty far down and I was excited about it. My needle's actually still attached. So can you see how they don't stack right? I mean, you have these beads that are real skinny, ones that are fatter, taller, shorter, whatever. I was doing the next row and this broke. It broke like right here. This edge. This is getting ripped out. Now, again, I learned they didn't have Fireline. Fireline is like the beading string of choice, apparently. And I needed some 6-pound. They didn't have 6-pound. I wanted white. They didn't have white. They had black, but they didn't have 6. I'm waiting to get some. I went on Amazon. Now I know better, and I'm going to go to another website called Firebeat. I don't know. I'll here or there. And I'm going to get that. I was using the Nyla thread that I had gotten. That is not strong enough, apparently, for the weaving part that I'm doing. Or maybe I pulled it too hard. Or maybe the end, maybe that's the end that I didn't weave in far enough. I'm not even sure. Needless to say, a lot of the video, like it called for specifically these beads. And I had only bought one thing of these beads. These are the Delica beads. Now these were like $6.99 a tube at Joann's. Now, of course, I could use coupons, but that same website I was just saying that the person told me about, can't remember names, I apologize. They're all uniform. I'm going to dump a few of these out so you can see them. I'm going to insert a video while I'm talking. These beads are uniform size. I did take a few out. I put them in my hand and I was like, holy crap. These are 11/0s. That's what it calls for. These are going to make all the difference in my rows lining up pretty and uniform and Vogue. They're just gonna work better than all these beads I have. I'll find something to do with these. And because that's not the only type of beading you can do, right? There's all kinds of types of beading. And I will try other things. And I bought this tube of beads, which these actually look uniform. But this bucket that I used my 50% coupon and paid $16, they are not uniform at all. Even when I was trying to pick beads with my needle that were uniform or close to the same size, I should be saying, it still didn't, it still obviously didn't work because it's not uniform. It's not straight. It's not in nice parallel lines. So that's where I'm at right now, y'all. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm not giving up. If you guys have any cool ideas to use for these little seed beads that are all different sizes, that would be great. Pretty sure even this bag of beads, they're all different sizes. Like these little ones, they're not gonna work. Like, they're more rounded. They have, like, a rounded edge on them, where these are much more, like, cut and dry, a cylinder, look to them. So, all right, that's what I have to show you. I'm a little upset that I didn't realize that when I bought these, but lesson learned. And if you have any ideas for these, let me know, because I'm always up for trying new types of projects. And not that beading would be completely new, because I've started a little bit of doing beading, but the process or the type of beading would be possibly new. And I like trying things. I like having something different on my plate to do. So let me know. All right, until the next time, yeah, I don't know how much more I'm gonna have to show you. I have progress on both the sweater and the sock, so that might be all I end up showing you, because it's gonna be a busy today, and then it's Friday, and then I post on Saturday. All right. Hey everybody, it's Saturday morning, and I just let this gauge swatch dry. I have no business casting on a new project when I still have that sweater on the needles, but guess what I'm doing? I'm casting on like a slipover or like a vest, and I'll tell you more about that when I'm talking to the camera. But I am using this Yorkshire Spinners Fleece 100% Jacob Aran weight yarn. Here's the cake. Now what I'm casting on for calls for 9 stitches, well, sorry, it's 18 stitches to 4 inches and 28 rows to 4 inches. So I needed 9 stitches for a 2-inch swatch. I'm getting 8, and I measured in multiple places. And I used the recommended needle size of a 7. So I'm gonna go down, I guess, a needle size and do a size 6 swatch and see where that gets me. I'm afraid then I'm gonna have way too many stitches per inch, but I guess I'll have to figure that out after I do it. So I guess I'm gonna be doing that. I'm also not getting the row gauge either, so I'm gonna try a US 6 and see where that gets me. Wah, wah. I was really hoping to be on gauge with the recommended size, but because it's a garment, I want it to fit correctly. So yeah, here's my gauge swatch. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. All right, I need 9. let's round up this video. It is Saturday, March 5th, and I have some progress to show you and not much else. So I was doing the woven hat, knitting the woven hat, and I had showed you that I was catching my floats, and then I remembered there was a technique called Jacquard laddering. I'm not even sure if that's the name. Not functioning well today. I started it, and you can see on the inside how it looks a little bit different right there. This is the solid square below where it's catching the floats. This is the Jacquard laddering. I must have done something wrong to set it up. I don't know. You can't tell in the actual knitting part, like in the square. Like, you can't tell in the square that there's like floats behind it or the laddering behind it. But when I set them up, I must have not like pulled it tight enough. You see, that's where the ladders start. And in some of them, they're worse. Right there. And some of them one is really bad. And I can't remember. It might be the first one. Yeah, it's this one. The first one that I did. Look how giant that is. It just doesn't look. Now, it might block out. I don't think it's going to block out because look at that. When I stretch it, look at that. Now, when I started this hat, I was like, oh, I'm going to fold it up and have a folded brim, and then I didn't fold it. I had to fold it the opposite way to make it look the way I wanted, so I already, from the jump, did this not the way I really want. I'm also just measuring now. You're supposed to get 27 stitches to the 4 inches, and I'm getting like 29, or it's 26 and I'm getting 29. No, it's 27. I'm getting more. And I would not go up a needle size with this yarn. Now, it doesn't look terrible. I feel like the fabric is really loose though. So technically I would be going down, which would give me more stitches per inch. So I honestly think that this pattern would look a lot better with a yarn that's more of a rustic farm yarn or something that has more of a halo to it. This is like super spun tightly, nice round like strand of yarn, and I just don't see it plumping up. Now this is not as tightly spun, I feel, as that. I just feel like it would be better with something that has a little more like body to it, so when it does, it'll fill out the space better. So this is getting frogged. Not that I don't, and I'm not fully in love with these colors together either. I've struggled with putting this plucky with something, so I have failed again at. It's not ugly. I don't love it, and I'm not going to keep going. But I wanted to do a few rows of the Jacquard laddering technique to practice it since I've never done it before. I feel like it is very useful and it works. Like, you can tell the holes are down there, but up here it looks great. Like, you can't tell. So that's where we are with that. Oh, my sweater. I didn't bring that over. I want to show you just the progress. My socks, I could have had so much more progress on this, but I haven't. We had a busy week, and I'm emotionally just drained with other things that I just am not going to talk about. But these are the fruit stripe gum socks, and I was here the last time, and now I'm here. And this is a Knit Picks Felice yarn. This looks really nice. And I don't have much left. I need to measure my foot because I'm going to do a cut-in heel. So I need to do that sooner than later, see where I'm at with that. Let me pause and get my sweater, and I'll just show you the progress I made. The last time I showed you guys my Friday tee, I was splitting for the armpits. I don't think I had showed you any progress after that. I may have. I do have a marker, so maybe I have. Never mind. So let me just hold this up. Here's the Friday tee. And I split for the armholes, and I have 3 blue stripes, and I have a marker here, so I'm assuming I had showed you guys. So I must have shown you. So I've only done 1 stripe's worth of the blue. So that's where I'm with that. But I do want to show you, I made a new swatch. I talked about I was making the swatch for that pullover, like a vesty looking pullover, slipover, I think it's called. I don't know. I'll put the pattern down below. But I'm using that Jacob wool. Oh, it's still pinned. Hold on. So this isn't really fully dry yet. So this was the first with the 7s, and I love the fabric on this. It's a little open, but I really kind of like it. That's on the 7s, US 7s. Now on the US 6s, it's not fully dry, and I videoed myself pinning that out, and I didn't aggressively block it. But this is not bad fabric either. I think once it's dry, it'll really feel a lot nicer. And I'm getting... still not getting, when I pulled it a little, I was getting the same gauge as this, but if I hold these up, you can see, if I don't block it, like if I kind of just lay it to dry versus pulling it out and blocking it, it's meant to have a lot of ease anyway, but I think I'm going to use my US 6s to knit this. And then for the ribbing, it calls for like 1 size smaller, so I will or won't do that. I'm not sure yet. But there you go. So you can tell it's not much smaller, but it's smaller. And if I don't aggressively block it, it'll be much better. So that's where I'm with that. So, all right, I'm going to get off of here. We saw Elle King last night. Not last night, the night before. Goodness. And that was awesome. That's the second time we've seen her. She puts on a great show, and her voice is just amazing. Yeah, Hayes was getting... Oh, I didn't get her a towel. Hold on. Okay, she's just using my hair towel to dry off. But I think this is going to be really nice. I think I'll still get a nice drape. This is the bigger one, but I still feel like I'm going to get a nice fabric when this is dry. I'm going to pin it back and put the fan on it. And yeah, sorry. I was talking about, we went and saw Elle King. Yeah, good show. Weird though, because all the mask mandates are just not existent anymore. So that's where we are. But all right, I'm going to get off here. I hope everybody's well. Please take care of yourself and others, and knit happy.